Many years ago, I met my next guest via my radio show and learned about the Sunday basket. And I got to tell you, this changed my life. I'm a big fan, and I know you will be too. And I want to welcome Lisa Woodruff to Amy's Table. We're going to talk about the Sunday basket, Organized 365, and her new book, Escaping Quicksand, that's coming out this June. Lisa, hi.
Amy, thank you so much for having me back.
I'm so glad you're here. I have to tell you, when I first learned about the Sunday basket, I was just like, okay, you changed my life.
Oh my gosh, thank you.
So let's talk about how did that happen?
Mm-hmm.
What was the, chaos that was happening at your home that you were like, I need to manage this? And tell me a little bit about how it all unfolded.
So it was all the way back in 2002 because I'm the age of a dinosaur. And my kids were 2 and 6 months. And back then we didn't really have a lot of computer and phone. And actually, I think it's worse today than it was then. Everything I needed to do was a piece of paper, and it was stacked a foot high at the end of my kitchen counter. And as soon as my son would fall asleep, I would start to lay that out and figure out what I needed to do next, and he'd wake up. And I was getting nowhere fast. I was paying bills late just because I didn't know what bills needed to be paid. I didn't even know what was on my to-do list. I had so many things that I had not sorted. So one night, it was a Sunday night, the kids were both in bed by 8, and my husband had also gone to bed, and I had some energy, and I spread all that paper out on the family room floor, and it was 40 distinct, different actionable files to call, to read, to pay, to look up, they all had different actions that needed. And I'm a office supply hoarder. So I got out some slash pockets, which are binder inserts, and I put each pile in a different binder insert. I'm also a lover of Longaberger, which is long since out of business. And I put all of these in the Longaberger basket, and that became my Sunday basket. Every Sunday going forward, I would go through all those slash pockets and determine what projects do I need to do now. Now I'm 54. I was, 32 when I created that system. What I know now is we need this more than ever. We as household managers are managing so much weekly actionable to-dos, but also huge projects that some take multiple years to complete. Where do you put all that information that's in process? Most of us keep it in our head or leave it on the kitchen counter, and that's not a good thing.
Both of those are recipes for disaster.
Yeah.
I can so relate. So can, I'm sure, so many people listening. That pile on the counter, that wondering in your head, wait, am I supposed to? That was my biggest thing, is the paper piles. I was a great to-do list maker, but the to-do list and the paper pile didn't always line up. And then the other thing is, I thought of you recently. I had this is good. Okay. I had a 4-drawer file cabinet in the basement that had all the stuff I didn't put in my Sunday basket in it. Lisa, I literally had it all. I almost didn't go through it. I shredded almost everything. I was like, I know I don't need all of this. I know I need to have my deeper part of the life insurance and the health insurance and et cetera, and my weekly to do. And it's just such a revolutionary, it's like taking 50 pounds off.
Okay, I'm glad you mentioned this because the Sunday basket is everything that's in process. The file cabinet is everything archived that you might need someday.
But not a junk drawer like I was making it.
You don't need 85% of it, but you do have to go through every single paper. Because if you have Procter & Gamble stock here in Cincinnati, you need to know your cost basis. And if you don't know it, it's really hard to get it from the company. So there's a lot of things that are important in that file cabinet, but very few things. You can eliminate that file cabinet. That's what we call the paper solution. And this is creating an information management system for your home. You are your family's Google. Hey, Mom, where is blah, blah, blah? Hey, honey, where is that paper for whatever? And you go find it. When you have your file cabinet into the binders that we have, that becomes the family's Google, and they can go look for it themselves. And each binder actually solves a life event, whether it's being power of healthcare, power of attorney, settling an estate. Ultimately, that is what that paper is for. It serves a purpose in the future. But the Sunday basket is in process paper.
Right.
And a lot of people will make that digital, which is great. You can do that. Sometimes it makes you more productive. There's a cognitive load to remembering where you put it digitally that is solved by actually just having it in analog paper.
I couldn't agree more, actually. Some of that old school stuff is a good thing to keep doing. So to me, it freed me.
Yeah.
And literally you say take all the contents of the Sunday basket out every Sunday.
Yes.
Go through it,
Yes.
put it in order, all of that. And then you offer such helpful tips beyond that, like get cash for the week.
Yes.
Make sure you power down your cell phone. Like who powers down their cell phone? Power it down once a week. Do these things. It's so helpful. When I tell you that it changed my life, I'm really not kidding.
Well, thank you. And I will say the reason I think it works is because I'm a kindergarten teacher. And in our households, every single one of us, especially female head of household, we have created some kind of a system like this from scratch. It's not like no one has a Sunday basket. You have some kind of a system like this where you pay the bills, remember how to update your to-dos, remember your grocery list and all of that. I just put it into a system. So when you say there are all these things you do, it's just like when you came home from school, you emptied your backpack, you went through all your subjects, you went through your homework, you replenished it for school the next week. That's kind of the system that I've created for household managers.
Well, it's a great system, and you got to check it out. So this is all born from your company, Organize 365. So talk a little bit about that and how that evolved into the book, Escaping Quicksand.
So Organize 365 started the year I turned 40. So I was 39, getting ready to turn 40. I'd done a whole bunch of different jobs. And I needed to start something that I would be more in control of my time and more in control of. I kept building on other people's land. Like I've been in 23 direct sales companies. And I made money in almost all of them. But the direct sales company would go bankrupt. It would go out of business. I was like, okay, I'm going to have to just start my own company. And I was like, well, what do I want to talk about for the rest of my life? And I decided it would be organizing. So Organize 365. I didn't know then I was a professional organizer. I didn't know then I'd have a podcast, create products, create courses. I didn't know any of that. I just got started. And now Organize 365 today helps people get organized so that they have time to do what they're uniquely gifted and created to do. So that teacher in me is like, yes, I'll teach you how to get organized, but not so that you organize for the rest of your life, so that you have more time to do what you're uniquely gifted and created to do. And that is my gift. Women need to get out there and spread their gifts. They need time to do that.
It's funny, you sort of ironically created your own foundation to be able to,
Yes,
it's
yes,
like just is it the chicken or the egg?
Right, right.
It's really amazing. And yet, we still find ourselves overwhelmed.
Yep.
And so this is what you're talking about in Escaping Quicksand. You say there's a 10-step psychology-driven framework. Talk a little bit about that.
So I don't know if it's that fancy, but I am getting a PhD, so maybe it is that
There
fancy.
you go. Let's pretend it's that fancy.
Let's pretend it's that fancy. I think that in psychology, we do find across all disciplines that there is an unhappiness that happens in your 40s for men and for women. Like there's this we're all sliding down into the pit of despair. You think you're going to hit rock bottom. Actually, you fall into quicksand and you're like sinking deeper and deeper. You're like, oh my God, there isn't even anything solid at the bottom of the pit. Like, what is going to happen to me? I'm just going to be swallowed up and I'm going to be gone forever. And this happens for a lot of reasons. Like in my case, my parents got divorced in my 30s. My father became sick, passed away. We had to settle his estate. The direct sales company I was with went bankrupt a couple of times. We were going through the 2008, 2009 recession, the kids' needs, and on and on and on. You all have your own story. That was my story. But somewhere along the line, as you're at the end of your 30s, into your 40s, you realize, oh my gosh, this #adulting thing is a lot. And it seems never ending.
An understatement.
It's never ending. Like you get one parent healthy and then another one falls and breaks something. And then you get this one going. And you start to wonder, is there ever going to be any more time for me? Like you're okay giving of yourself to your family because you love having a family. But after years and years and years of caregiving, young children, older, etc., what's left for me? Like what's left for me? And so as I'm now in my 50s and I look back on my 40s, yes, I got organized. Yes, I started a company. Yes, my kids graduated and are out of the house, like all the things that you visibly see. But what internally changed that allowed me to go from being overweight, depressed, reactive, unhappy at 39 to profitable and happy and successful and flourishing in my 50s? And these are the mental mindset shifts that I made in that decade.
So in the book, you're giving us these strategies for the mental mind shifts.
Yes.
And it's almost like stepping into an organizing process. You've got to work on the mind.
Yes.
So share a couple of mind shifts and how we can make them?
Okay, the biggest one, the one that I built the whole book around, is this idea of self-care. So I'm in one of my classes for PhD. They're online. I'm kind of old in the class, older than the teacher, older than everybody.
You are too hard on yourself.
Oh my gosh. But also I love being old. So I don't know, like when I was 40, I was like, I'm old. And I'm like, I'm old. This is great.
Yeah.
And I keep going. So I'm in this class and I'm asking about development. We're talking about child and adult development. There's not a lot of research on adult development, honestly. I said, well, what about menopause? And they go, well, that's not really a developmental stage. I'm like, it's the inverse of puberty. Pretty sure.
Yes.
They're like, no, not science hasn't studied it yet. I'm like, okay, all right. I don't have time.
That's a battle for another day.
That's a battle for another day. But as I was in that class, I was like, what else hasn't science studied? Like, what else have academics not actually thought through? And so I was thinking about this idea of self-care. And I got this picture of the St. Louis Arch. At the bottom of one end is childcare. At the bottom of the other end is elder care. So I've been a parent. I've taken care of adults in our family and cared for them. What is it that makes childcare and adult care? You need elder care when someone needs to step in and handle your finances and your laundry and where you're going to be and take you to doctor's appointments. Same with children. But it's not just that. Like you would also provide for spiritual development, emotional development, give hugs, spend time relationally with children, with adults. And I was like, okay, so if that's childcare and that's elder care, then from 18 to 88, this whole arch, that's self-care. We're told that self-care is, oh, well, why don't you go get a massage? Did you get to take a bath tonight? Why don't you go get your nails done? No, let's rewrite the whole script. There is no definition of self-care. Self-care is the care of yourself. You should be caring for your needs like your parents cared for you or you care for your parents. So yes, you should have clothes that fit. You should have a diet that supports your metabolic functioning. You should have an exercise program that works for you. You should have a religious practice that works with where you are in your spiritual development. You should have relationships with people just because you want to have relationships with people.
Oh my God, Lisa. It's rocking my world too. I totally get this. Do you know when someone says something and sometimes that little thing that was in, I get this. Because you've taken such good care of your kids doesn't mean abandon ship. Because you are now taking such good care of your parents. In between, oh my God, I love this.
So then when you take it that way, because we're like, oh, you put your oxygen mask on first. Don't pour from an empty cup. But then everybody's like, how do I fill my cup? Well, get a bubble bath. No.
Right, no.
How do you fill your cup? Literally. If you're filling the kids' water bottles, fill your water bottle. If you're making the baby a bottle, because that's what a baby needs to eat, then make yourself the proper macronutrients that you need.
Get the rest.
Get the
exercise.
Everything that you do
get
for
the stimulation.
Everything. Yes. And we feel guilty about it. Yeah, we feel guilty about it. No, it's self-care. We're responsible for ourselves. And when you're not, you break down. And then somebody has to come in and care for you. So we must take care of ourselves so that we can continue to care for everyone else. It's not selfish. It's essential.
That is so important. I want to go, amen.
Yeah.
That is so important. You say women, but also I think like when my mom died, my dad, now it's a different generation, right? I mean, he was a parent to us, but not in the same way dads are now, I feel like. But he didn't do self-care for himself really until he needed elder care. I don't know that he was necessarily making sure he was eating healthy. My mother did the cooking, and so all of a sudden my dad ate lean cuisines every day.
So I do think it is men and women. I can only speak to women because it's what I've observed in my experience.
Right.
But
everybody jump on this.
I think that men are definitely in a really hard place right now. I just have not done the work to figure out how to help them. This book really speaks to what's going on in a woman's mind and mental shifts that then change them to like, okay, so self-care is not selfish. It's essential.
Right.
Okay, well, what else is essential that I thought was just selfish? What else is actually necessary for me to be able to live to 80, 90, 100? How do I really put myself on the list? Not above everybody else, but on the list. Like we as parents, we enroll our kids in soccer and basketball and piano. I don't have any professional athletes or pianists today.
Right.
But if we want to take an extra $25 for a Pilates class, we might need to donate plasma for that.
Isn't that so true?
Yeah, I can't take that money from the family. But yet I do Pilates and I could carry my grandchildren around the house and I'm very strong and I'm not going to fall. That's why I'm doing it for them. Yeah.
I am so inspired by this. I really am. That's a mind shift we all know, and we do deserve it.
Yes.
And not only do we deserve it, now this is going to kind of go back into the wrong mindset, but it's like we also almost owe it to those in our life.
Yes.
So that we don't shift back earlier in the need for elder care.
Right.
Or, you know, yeah.
And you don't want to need care before you need care. We want to remain, in our own faculties. We want to remain a contributing member of society as long as possible. Well, you can't do that on chicken nuggets, half of a Coke, and 3 hours of sleep.
Right, exactly.
It's not gonna
exactly. Take the Pilates class.
Right.
And the bubble bath too.
I do the bubble bath every night. That's non-negotiable.
This is amazing. So if somebody wants to start this radical mindset of self-care, I know you've given us some examples, but tell me, what could they do today?
I think changing our mindset about something is being around people who think like you do. And so the first step I would say is I've had a podcast for 11 years. So there's plenty of episodes. So go to if you like this conversation, you like the Organized 365 podcast. If you're like, okay, I'm a checklister, I like practical to-dos, get the Escaping Quicksand book. If you're listening to this before the book is out, we're actually having a book club, a live book club that we're doing chapter by chapter until the book launch. So every week a new chapter of the book drops audio. And we're crowdsourcing. And it is so nice to be around other women who are also going, oh my goodness, I never thought about this. This is how this is looking in my life. Or giving ideas to each other. So really get in community with people who are
community.
Like,
that's so key. I mean, that's part of the mindset right there. And if you surround yourself with people who have no interest in making that shift in mindset, guess what? It's going to be that much harder for you to do it too, right?
Yeah.
I love it. Community is a big part of what you've built at Organized 365. So talk about some ways that your followers, listeners, readers, practicers can join the community.
One of the things I loved about being in direct sales was being with all the other consultants that loved whatever product it was that we were selling in our conventions and things like that. So when I created Organized 365 and moved it online from an in-person, in-home organization to online courses, I created co-working times that are led by people on my team. We also have our own app so you could share freely and no one will see it because it's not on Facebook. I'll go in there live and share additional seminars and things that I'm learning. We just have a really collaborative group. We have live events, things like that. Just a collaborative group of women who are really focused on being household managers and getting their homework done so they have time to do what they're uniquely gifted and created to do. And so many of them have started volunteering, foundations, gone back to work, adopted children. Like, it's just amazing what they've done when their time has gotten freed up. They just never realized they could be done with their housework.
I mean, to me, that's amazing. I think when I walk through my home, when it's clean, when it's organized, when I know what's in front of me for the day, the week, whatever it might be, when I've got a menu, I have company coming this weekend, when I've got a menu plan in place, when I know the grocery, I am like lighter than air. I feel like I walk above the ground. Conversely, when clutter will creep up, when I haven't had a chance to go through my to-do list and organize and my Sunday basket and all of that, I feel very limited. And so I think that you're so right. What you're doing here may be about paper and it may be about, to-do lists and it may be about organization in the home, but it is so much greater than that. And I love what you're doing. I really love what you're doing.
Thank you.
And it's no surprise that you're such a big success with this. And I know the book's going to be a hit. So tell us one more time where people can find more information about you.
So the website's organized365.com. The podcast is called Organized 365. And I'm most active on Instagram, Organized 365.
Fantastic. Lisa Woodruff, thank you so much. I'm telling you, check out the Sunday basket, check out the book, check out the community. It really can change your world. And as always, don't forget, there's always a seat for you here at Amy's table.